All right, your first lesson for 8th grade is going to be your beatboxing project. First, I want to go over your saving your work so that it can be graded. Anytime you have a project, I'm going to use this Word document as an example. You go to File, you go to Save As, and once you go to Save As, on the left side you need to hit Browse, and you're going to be looking for this PC. So over here you hit this PC. Down at the bottom is where you're going to find your name. It's going to have your name, like here's mine. And you obviously won't have staff, but where this says student, it's going to say AC 150. That's this room, Arcola, room 150. So you open up AC 150 and you're going to see this. From here it should kind of make sense. You're going to click on 8th grade. You're going to click on whatever marking period you're in. You're going to click whichever period you are. And then if you have me first, you're going to open up the first rotation. If you had Miss Henry first and you have me second, you're going to open up the second rotation. And then the piano number is the number that's on the right-hand side of your piano. Mine back here happens to be 21. You're going to save it. Now, Microsoft automatically defaults a name in for the file name. Mixcraft 7 does not, and I will have people work all period and do this, and nothing works. That's because they forgot to put a file name. Make sure you're always putting a file name anytime you do your project. Then you can save it. So that's how we save our projects. Now, what we're going to be starting out with is going to be our Incredibox beatboxing video. So this is where the video is going to be located. The questions is what we're going to start with. You are going to open up a Word document. You're going to answer 3 questions to 4 videos. 3 questions are: what did your video describe, what did you learn, and rate this video. Because down here I have 6 videos you're going to watch. The first 4 are the exact same thing. You're helping me out. You're going to decide which one of these 2 is better, which one of these 2 is better, and by the end of the year I'm going to get rid of one of each of these. So you open up the first video, and when you go to click on a video, it may not play. Let's see if mine does. Okay, so mine automatically played. If it does not, what you need to do is open up a new tab, go to YouTube, log into YouTube, and then come back to this page, refresh it, and then it'll work for you. So you need to make sure that you log into YouTube to see it. But your first 2 videos here are what is dubstep beatboxing? What is beatboxing? This first video is from 2011. This is the grand champion. He is one that does a very good job of showing off of what he did to become grand champion, but I don't know how much you learn of actually doing it. However, it's a nice short video. It's only 1 minute and 1 second long. The next video, this is one of those TED Talks, and this is with TomTom. This is a great video, and he does show in detail what beatboxing is and stuff. However, it's a TED video, so it's 11 minutes long. It is a long video. So what you're going to do is you're going to watch them. You're going to come back here to your Word document. On video 1, you put down what you learned, what to describe, and rate it 1 through 5. And then the same thing. And then all I'll do is review these 2, and eventually I'll get rid of one of these 2 videos. Once you're done with those 2 videos, the next 2 videos that you're going to be looking at are going to be how to beatbox. Now, this is DubFX. This guy here, he's been around since the very beginning. He's very good. If anything, he's a little bit advanced. He assumes you know what beatboxing is and stuff, which you definitely will because you watched 2 videos on what it is. He can be a little hard to understand because he has an Australian accent, but he does a pretty good job of describing beatboxing and how to beatbox. The next one is the New York City crew. Now this one here, if anything, is one that is definitely easier than DubFX. However, it might be dumbed down a little bit too much. This is more of a 5th grade level maybe, as opposed to an 8th grade level. However, it does kind of help you to beatbox and kind of shows you how to beatbox, like having you try to do it. So again, you're going to rate these 2 videos on your Word document, and you're going to describe them, and I'll eventually get rid of one of these 2. Now, the next 2 videos you don't actually have to write anything about. I already know which one of these I'm going to get rid of. But there's 2 types of beatboxing. There's live beatboxing and there's looping beatboxing. Live beatboxing means you make all the sounds at once with your voice. The world record is one person can make 6 different instrument sounds at once. I don't have the slightest clue how you make 2 different instrument sounds at once, much less 6. But you're obviously limited on how much you can do. By doing looping, you can go ahead and record your beatboxing, and on a loop, it just continues to play over and over and over and over. So it takes a lot of planning. However, you can do as many instruments as you want. You're not limited to just 6 if you're the world champion. So if I just play this a little bit so that you can get an idea. This guy's Pete Box. He's the next two videos. First sound is the cymbals. And then he's going to go down to the bottom down here, and he pushes this pedal looper. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's a pedal looper down here. We have that pedal looper in this classroom. In this classroom, the old version is red and black. The new version is gray and black. So we actually have that in here. But he loops that, and now it just goes and he starts to record the next sound, which is the bass. And so on. And he continues to grow until he gets his full chorus or band underneath him, and then he sings the song at the top. So that's the second type of beatboxing. The other reason I have this is I want to show you two things. One, this is our MIDI pad controller. This is what you have on your pianos in front of you. This is a 4x4 setup. You have a 2x8 setup on your pianos, but you still have 16 pads, and basically you can put any sound you want and assign it to each one of these different pads. And if I fast forward here, we have 4 pieces of equipment here. 3 of them are in this room. We have this, which I said we have the newer version, which is gray and black. This you have in your piano. This is another type of looper, which we also have in the room. This one here is a special effects for the voice. We don't have that. We don't need that. But what a professional has, we have 3 out of 4 in this room that we can actually use. So that's what you're going to be doing for your review of the videos. If you go ahead and review them, you're going to get easy points for this. This is you helping me out, so I will help you out by giving you some points. But you'll notice, the next thing down here at the bottom is your Incredibox projects. That is the actual project that you're going to be doing. So for the Incredibox projects, you are going to be doing 3 projects. Project 1 is record at least 20 measures, a bonus scene. Project 2 is 30 measures, a bonus scene, and a solo. Project 3 is all 40 measures, a bonus scene, a solo, mute, delete. Now, this might not understand exactly what this is, but if you're the type of person that likes to read directions, if I come down here, here's exactly how to do the directions written out. What I'd like to do is actually show you. So I'm going to go to Incredibox. Now, when Incredibox comes up, right now they have 6 different versions out. Versions 5 and 6 are locked. You cannot use these 2. You can only use versions 1 through 4. I'm going to ask you not use version 1. That came out in actually 2008. It says 2009. But in 2008, and it's a very simple version. I'd like you to use versions 2, 3, or 4. If you want to do, you have 3 projects. You want to do each project on a different version, you may do so. Otherwise, if you just like one version, stick with it. I'll do the lowest of the 3 versions just for right now. Now, when you go to click on this, if it comes up with a little pop-up here saying Adobe's not working, click the spot that it says here, where it tells you to. Click where it says here, and right about here will come a little pop-up. That little pop-up says use Adobe or block. Just hit that, it allows it to use. Now, I skipped the intro and I came right to the project. This is Incredibox. It's some dude without a shirt on. That's kind of weird. But think of it as Mixcraft 7. Down here we have our different loops, our different samples. And up here is where we have our tracks. Well, each one of these loops or samples are only 2 measures long or 4 measures long. Some people call them a 1 circle or 2 circle. To show you what I'm talking about, if I drag this up, right here's a little circle. Every time it goes around, it makes the exact same sound. Every single time. Now, a 4 measure loop sounds different every 2 circles. Makes a sound going up, first time, nothing. Second time, makes a sound. Second time up, makes a sound. So that's a 4 measure circle. So that's how many measures we have. The next thing I want to show you is, I said a solo, a mute, and a delete. When I hover over somebody, you have 3 choices here. You have this, which will mute that person. To bring them back, you unmute them. The next one is the solo. The solo will shut everybody else up except for the person that you have solo. To bring everybody else back, you have to turn off the solo. And the last one should be kind of self-explanatory. That is your mute. I'm sorry, your delete. The final thing we talked about was our bonus scenes. Over here is our bonus scenes. You have to unlock these by guessing the right combo. To guess it, if I drag a sound up, look, it put a sound at each one. So if I just go to the next one, all right, that put a sound here in the second one. So I can either concentrate on the second one or I can just keep going to see what opens up each one. but I need to be able to unlock one of these bonus scenes. So once I've gone through, I decide which version I like. I test all the sounds to see which one I like, and I also figure out which combination opens one of these. Now I'm ready to record. So to record, this is so that I can grade it. Hit the record button. It tells me to start recording. As soon as I drag it up top here, it starts to move. So if we watch in a second here, now it's going to be 1 out of 40. When that gets to 20 out of 40, I'm done my first project. 30 out of 40, I'm done my third, and 40 out of 40, I'm done my last. So I'm going to simply go ahead and start to drag up different sounds here and add them to Now, I can go ahead and get rid of somebody. I can bring somebody else back. I can go ahead and solo somebody so it shuts everybody else up. And then I bring everybody else back. Or I can go ahead and mute the same person. And we don't hear that. So that's our solo or mute and delete. Now I talked about our bonus scene. I selected the right ones and it automatically puts it in. And then it comes right back. So that's all the stuff that you need. Now, you have to go through at least 20 measures, which I'm about to. At that point, I can just hit stop. If you want, that's the minimum. I could go all the way to 40. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and start to mute people. Now that became my project. Now, in order for me to grade it, you would think you would download. The school district does not allow you to download. So here's how we cheat. We go to the share button. We click on share. For DJ name, you're going to put your name. Like literally your name. Don't type your name. Mix title, you could put like Project 1. You don't have to dedicate it. And then when you hit go, what happens is it takes your project and turns it into its own web page for 90 days. You are going to copy this link. You're going to go back to your Word document where you have your videos filled out, and down here at the bottom, you're going to simply paste your link. So by the time you are done with your Incredibox stuff, by the time you're done with all of this equals one Word document inside your piano folder. All right, and you should have already been able to save that in your piano folder because I went over that at the very beginning. So that is how we do our Incredibox projects. This video is going to be linked right up here at the very top, so people that need it can use it for when they're absent. All right, if you have a question and I'm not here, ask 2 other people before you ask the substitute. Otherwise, you can ask me when I get back. Thank you.